So this is Baruch Fleischman, your Saba here at the Tikkun Elevator. Kolel. Let me bring this up. Now this is the Zohar. There's a lot here. This is the Zohar of Achrei Mos. Now, I'm a sucker for the Rishash. Not the Rishash, I'm sorry. For the Ari. And one of the things that the Matok Midvash, and once again we're looking at the Zohar. And look, to really understand this, to really get close to Hashem, one has to really know the Otzvos Chaim, have some familiarity with the concepts that it's dealing with. And he keeps bringing the Ari. So he writes like this, and let's see, let me see, can I get this propped up better? Not really. Try that. Rabbi Daniel Frisch, Holocaust survivor, person who dedicated his life to translating the Zohar, came from a very religious area. Some miraculously survived the war. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So this is the Rizal says like this. Where does he say it? In the Lakuti Torah and Parashiot of Vayikra. He says, "Ki Nishmas Moshe, the origin of the B'nibius of the Neshama of Moshe, Hosemush be Yisod of the Abba B'ima. It was in the Yisod of the world of upper consciousness, which is the place of Chesed, Chochmah, and Bina, also known as Abba B'ima. Then it says this: V'nishmas Aaron." Hosemush Rashus be Yisod the Abba Levad. It was only rooted in the Yisod of Abba. The Nishmas Aaron was only in Abba. The Nishmas Elazar Itamar Hoya Menetzach and Hoda Abba. So they're all different aspects of Abba coming out of that. And Moshe, what was Moshe? Ki Nishmas Moshe Hoysach Mushrashus be Yisod the Abba Ve'ima. Then Aaron was the Yisod the Abba only, not Abba and Ima. The Nishbas Elazar, the Itmar, Vitamar, Vitamar, Hoya Menetzach and Hoda Abba. They're all on the Abbadika side. Elazar Menetzach, Vitamar Mahod. Then you have Nadav-Avihu. Now, these are the two that died, that test to be the Achrei Mos. Hoya Menetzach and Hoda Ima, but they came for the Netzach and Hod of Ima. So the other two brothers came for the Netzach and Hod of Abba, and these came for the Netzach and Hod of Ima. Now, what secret can we find? The secret that the Rav, the Ari HaKodesh, is trying to teach us here. Nadav was from Netzach, V'Abihu was from the Hod of Ima. V'hiyosha Nai the Abba, so it's like this. The Nai of Abba, Muluvashim Toch Nai, the Ima is always inside of the Nai of Ima. V'chein Netzach and Hod the Abba, Stumim Ma'od, so therefore the Netzach and Hod of Abba are very much closed up. Vein or Yotzim Ahem Klal, and there's no light comes out from them at all. You wouldn't know they were there. Let me see if we get a better. There we go. Ve'ein or Yotzim Mehem Klal. Ella al Yedei Netzach and Hod De'ima, only through, as a result of a screen which surrounds them, which is the Netzach and Hod of Ima. V'chein ha-neshamas ha-nimshachos ben-Netzach and Hod Abba, so though all of those neshamas that come from the Netzach and Hod Abba aim stumos, they're always shut in, they're always closed up. V'yesh lechem rak ha'ara mu'etes, and all you get as a result of that screening process is a very small amount of their light. Masha ein kein Netzach and Hod Ima, which is not the case of the Netzach and Hod of Ima, because she's on the outside. because they are revealed and shine. So therefore, Haneshamos hanimshachos mehem heim gedolchos yoser, the neshamos that come out of those places, which is what the netzach and hod of ima, which is on the outside, and therefore the light that comes from them. Hanimshachos mehem heim gedolos yoser, they're bigger, they're stronger lights. Nadav-Avihu-Elazar So therefore you say, in terms of magnification, or what is a manifestation of the light, they're bigger because they're on the outside. So therefore the outside one, they were greater than Lazar and Itamar, because they were suppressed. Lazar and Itamar were inside, they were suppressed. This is what the Zohar wants to say. Nadav Shakal could call Achrei, that Nadav was balanced, or as great as all of the rest of the brothers. V'Abuchu Shakal Yosem Elazar Itamar, and Avihu was considered to be greater than both Elazar and Itamar. Im came Vadai Choyel Lechem Kavanas Gedolas V'Kataras Kataras. So therefore, what ultimately happened was when they brought this Kataras. Now, this is a new idea for me. But bringing this, because they had a tremendous light to offer. Because it's no longer called binyan v'tikun hamalchus, everything that builds malchus. Let's find this. Here it is. Hu manai de'ima. All comes from the nai de'ima. So this is where all the great light is. The great light is there because the nai of Abba is inside of that, suppressed inside. Shemesham choya neshamos Nadav-Avihu, which is the place that Nadav-Avihu, which is the boys, the sons of Aaron, who died. That's where their souls were rooted. Now this part, I don't know how he got to this. So he says, and it being that they're nefashos, shenafshosam, haya misod nefesh tzilus, their neshama was part of the nefesh of a course of its tzilus. It came from the Adam Arishon. Shekabel hamalchus shehi nefesh the klaus atzilus. Now let me try to work on this. It wasn't easy for me. So he says, let's go back. He says that Nadav and Avihu, they represent the netzach and hod of ima, which is on the outside. So he said the list of Elihiyosha nafshosam, that they're nefashos. Chaya misod nefesh d'Atzilus, that in other words, that aspect, the physical aspect of themselves, which is the nefesh aspect. Shenafshosam chaya misod nefesh d'Atzilus. So this is where it gets a little harder for me. The nefesh of Atzilus that was inside of Adam Arishon, Shekabel mem malchus, which he received from what? The malchus of Atzilus. She nefesh the klaus Atzilus, okay, which is Atzilus. Ubazil ha-nefesh, and with this nefesh, this physical nefesh, this physicality, chata Adam b'pagam b'malchus. So he sinned, and he made a pagam in malchus. And that pagam in the malchus called the hafrada. So these pagamim are the things that separate us from God. So we have the same thing. Nasham b'malchus of the hafrada b'balo, of the hafrida b'balo. Therefore, Nadav-Avihu, nefesh haroy el hamalchus, which was really the aspect of the nefesh, which was so perfect and fit for malchus. Also, the sakna, what they really wanted to do is they wanted to build malchus. They wanted to build it. V'lachamshech lo mochin l'chachziru panim b'panim, and to now bring back the mochin, which allows malchus to become full and integrated. And she brings them back panim b'panim, means their anpen baila together with their anpen, her husband. Now that's the goal of Nadav and Avihu according to their origin of their souls, of their nefashos, of their animal selves. Now he goes on and he says like this, because of Od Sham, so he goes on and says further here. Ki nodesh mochin de betzad ima, that we know like this, mochin that come from the side of ima, heim bechinas kataris. So I have to read it again because I never knew this, so I'm not sure what to do with it anyway. He says the mochim that come from the side of ima, these are mochim. That just say that she has the mochim and the voshim and all the whole thing. So he says the betzad ima, that the idea of this kataris offering, this sweet savor. So therefore, Nadav and Avihu, both of them wanted to bring kataris because they understood this is the imadik. This is coming from the side of ima. Says and through this, so that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to bring down mochim coming from ima because they represent ima. They're the ikar of their souls in ima. Muluvashim benai de ima. All of that is inside. All of the mochim are inside of the netzachot yesod of ima. Shehem yesod chasa. Now, I got to look up this word. I saw it earlier, and I didn't do anything about it. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. Whoa. I can't stop. All right, I'm back. So I looked this up. So let's see what it means. So he says, so through this, going back there, what they wanted to do, to bring these tremendous mochin tzad ima, which he says are the kataras. Meluvashim benai, the ima clothed in the nai of ima herself. In other words, the mochin are inside. It's mopatimi. Shehim sod hamachta, which is the concept of the fire pan. And they consider to be that this is fit. This is beneficial, this is sweet, this is wonderful, because that's where their root is. That's where their root is. Their root is difficult to picture. They had to err, he says, because they are strictly from the side of Ima, whereas Moshe Rabbeinu is really from a higher level, from the level of where they're combined Abba and Ima. Aras all and his family are all on the right side, except for Nadav and Avihu, which combine the left side. So here's what he says: So they brought the kataras onto the mizbeach, to the mizbeach, shuha hamalchus, which is malchus. So here they're bringing this offering in their snuff pan, in their fire pan. In order to be able to build her up so that she would be prepared to meet and to mate with her husband, Zeranpin, to make the yichud and the tzilus that makes everything good happen. Zera amnam tal b'davar. They made a mistake here. So he says, amnam tal b'davar echad lechem na'anshu. They made one mistake, and for this reason they were punished. V'inyan ki kasha hamochim le'ima levadim nitnasim b'nukva. So when the mochim by themselves enter into the nukva, below mochin the Abba, without mochin the Abba, az yesh adayim koyach lechitzonim that is Achrei behem, to grab a hold of them, that it's still possible for them to get a hold of these malchim. וכן כה ירוי לנדב-Avihu שיסחברו יחד עם Aaron. So therefore it was fit that what they needed to do was not do something which is female into female. To think about the world we live in now and the corruption that we're facing here. וכן כה ירוי לנדב-Avihu שיסחברו יחד עם Aaron, that they should join together with Aaron, shehoyu mamochin the Abba, who was from the Mochin the Abba. They needed the Abba Dikasai. You have to have the two of them. V'lahamshek gam hamochin the Abba, and also to bring down there for the Mochin that come from Abba, because you need to have the Abba. V'os choisa nesakenis a malchus karoi, and then you would see that there was a proper fit for malchus, the proper tikkun, that the lights would go together properly. But the fee levadam al yedecha b'mochin the imach also the sakta, but because by themselves they wanted to just take mochin the ima. Now you have to think of the level of the people that we're talking about, that was so possessed by the upper forces and so conscious of it. Mochin the imach also the sakta the chem ne. So therefore the Kitzonim were able to get a hold of that, and the Kitzonim here are called foreign or strange man. Hanikroim Eish Zara, which here means, it means strange fire. So the Saktam Ne'echos HaKitzonim, which is called strange fire, foreign fire, something which does not belong to Mesim, and as a result of that, they created that, and the Kitzonim killed them. So Yamusa V'lo B'chachma, so they said because they would die. V'lo B'chachma, but Chachma would not be the cause of it. In other words, they didn't have Chachma. So he said, Nimsa, it comes like this. She'ein chas v'sodek b'shuta, that this is really not like its simple meaning. Shachkruva Eish Zara, that they brought some kind of strange fire. So obviously the strange fire is the Chitzonius. El Rayedei shehamshichu hamochin the ima below mochin the Abba, and this is the main and the deepest part of the Kabbalah. The Ayedei shehamshichu hamochin the ima, because of causing the flow of the light to come through Ima below Mochin the Abba, not mixed inside of Lima, is actually a container for Abba. So therefore you're only dealing with the Kitzonius. There's no Panemius. And that is where the Kitzonim got in. Below Mochin the Abba al Yedei Zech Nimshkuch V'Nis'aschu Sham HaKitzonim, and this is how they become more powerful. They pull out from here, and they grab a hold, because you're dealing with strict Kitzonius, with the Kli only. V'gam Misha Oibech Shechatam Hoya Lefi Shelo Notlo Eitzim Avihim. And there are those who say, well, the way that we say the stories is they didn't take any advice from their father, and then there's also they took it upon themselves. They have the ability to be able to desire to do what they desired without consulting their father. They should, and that's also a way of saying the same thing, that they could have partnered in their father, Shehoya B'Bechin's Abba, who was the Abba, which is a Panemius. So also to bring down Mochim also to Abba, and to make a yichud in this action, that is between Abba and Ima, and then all of them together will make the yichud. Gam ha'omer sheshas yochum shisu yayin niknisu, that there are also those that are saying that they've been drinking. Hainu im ha'mochin the Ima, that is with the mochin the Ima hanishinik rayim yayin. So that's another way you can interpret this. You can say because of the b'shtu yayin, they were drunk. Zahainu ima mochin de ima shenekroyim yayin, because mochin de ima, so that we become the shishu yayin, which is the mochin of avima. That's another way to say the same thing. V'naasach b'sak nasach, and so as a result of that, everything became unfit for the altar. Because it's pure chitzonius. Aaron knew that they went by themselves. He knew the origin of their souls. Shetol v'chatu v'chein v'yidon Aaron ad kam, and that's why Aaron did not say anything. Okay, there was a little deepy over here with the. I'm not sure how many people can understand this, but hey, we're going to tell you.